William Galbraith Rollo Stuart Bruce, greatest author of my generation, GAOMG. Just did my full outline that proves that I'm the first and only known direct descendant from Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. Over 1,000 years unbroken Y-DNA descendant, and all the proof I've put on my Wattpad, and I've published it, and I have all the conclusion snips that are confirmed by the University of Strathclyde. You know that the William Stuart of Fennock, I have that Y14197, and everything that I just put up on my real naked author on Wattpad. You can go on it, and I put my most up to date. I just found all my direct line descent from Robert the Bruce to me, the exact terminal, everything. Everything I've been doing, I'm learning and figuring out more and more, exactly how everything fits. And I'm not finding less Y-DNA from Robert the Bruce. I only find more. I am no Michener. I am no best. This proves everything. And I did all the work. Nobody helped me. I did it all. And it explains it all to you. I'm a direct male line descendant from Robert the Bruce. Robert the Bruce's his royal Y-DNA snips. And I did this for everybody. You just go on this, and I asked a question. I go, okay, I'm a confirmed living direct male line descendant of Robert the Bruce, King of Scots, the Bruce royal dynasty, direct unbroken paternal descent from King Robert the First of Scotland to Jason William Galbraith Rollo Stuart Bruce. This version includes all the new. I found all these new snip markers and lines. I just find more and more and more that just, it reconfirms everything that I am. I'm the first and only known living descendant of Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. And then I asked it the question too. I was right here. I was in some Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. I asked ChatGPT. It goes, so essentially anyone who enters these snips that I posted, anyone that enters it, you've shared would be told that you are, that's me, a direct, unbroken descendant of Robert the Bruce with the connections to the broader Bruce royal family and the Stuart family through shared markers. Your lineage is confirmed by multiple genetic tests and SNP markers, reinforcing the direct paternal link to the King of Scots. And I have been writing to, this dude, Paul Thompson, whose last name is not Stewart. It's also Thompson. So I also descend from, the Stewarts of Butte. And I have, a different surname that was thrown on there by other people, not me. So anyway, this dude goes, I'm one of the administrators for Alexander Stewart, the Wolf of Bandenoch, and I'm also positive with your SNP BY119792. We share a marker with men all called Stewart from the 1500s, and now we know you, Michener, and that's not my surname, by Y-DNA. It's just a fake surname that was thrown on me. Paul Thompson, co-administrator, he wrote that in writing. This connection places Jason William Galbraith Rollo Stuart Bruce in the direct SNP path of BY11979 and Y14197, descending from Sir John the Black Stuart, Sheriff of Butte, through William Stuart of Fennock, with genetic placement confirmed via Tim Stewart, placed by Alistair MacDonald with the University of Strathclyde. So, I have this right here, and it's written, that indicates anyone that has that is a descendant of William Stuart of Fennock. And I have that, and it's just goofy now, that the University of Strathclyde is playing these games, because I just updated my lineage, and it's just so much Robert the Bruce and his royalty. I just got all these the new Flemish royalty and stuff. This is all my Rollo descent, and I found even more Rollo connection to Rollo this updated, I just found more, Y-DNA. This updated SNP change, which captures a transition between Viking warriors and settled Norman landowners, especially in northern France. Deep Viking, ancestry, and I updated that U106 that also Alistar had a tough time with. Now I connected it to my whole line. U106 goes to all these Z304, Z16502 anchors the paternal line of the U106 superclad found in Viking tribes. And then it goes into more new, Y-DNA SNPs. I just found these new ones. Oh, these are branching from blah, 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 marking families descending from Norman royal elite. That's me. Norman royal elite. Historical context, the divergence happened in the 12th, 13th century, consistent with early Bruce expansion. And I mean, everybody just go on this and read it and copy and paste, my Y-DNA, my SNPs, everybody in Scotland. Like, this is the reality. My Y-DNA is never going to change. And it's never going to go from Bruce to anything else. It's always going to be, direct descendant from Robert the Bruce, King of Scots, very heavily intermarried with, the Stuarts. Then I found all the new, Elizabeth de Burgh and the House of de Burgh, and added, that in. And it was good. It clarified what all of that means. Here's these DNA SNPs support Flemish, Norman, noble alliances, crucial to early Scottish settlements, Norman heritage, and all of my Y-DNA is very married, within the same line. So even though if I have ancestors that get born in Ireland, or they're born in the US, that doesn't mean they're from Ireland or they're from the US. They still marry their Norman-Scot royalty, nobility lines all the way to me to today. I mean, my biological father, the Bruce father, and my Galbraith mother, they all came from very unbroken lines, from Scotland to me today. Those two are the ones that kind of ruined everything, never told me who I am and everything. But through the power of the Bruce, I fought on, and now I know I'm the first and only living descendant, of Robert the Bruce. And you can see all of this direct descent chain to Robert the Bruce. This is my direct chain. It has a terminal, right where the direct line is that it comes out of. Terminal SNP, and it's after, I'm all before the Clackmannan Bruces, and then I'm after, post the Clackmannan. Those are a cousin. I'm directly from Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. And this is so cool too, is that this right here, this is the block tree that you need, to see exactly where your line comes down from the FGC13132, which is the big, blockchain for Robert the Bruce, and all of the Bruces, descended there. Keeps going down, and then when we get there it is, FGC7862, and then my line starts, right away, and it goes all the way down. That's my line right there from the Bruce, all before the Clackmannans. You can see this. This shows you exactly where Robert the Bruce, King of Scots line comes from, and that's mine right there, the royal line. And Robert Bruce of Liddesdale, that's who I'm descended from, and it runs parallel and interwoven with all my Stuarts and stuff. But it goes, this is it right here, the FT34517. He was born 1300, they believe, and they believe he was born, we don't know who the mother is, right? Because he's illegitimate. And then below that could be David II, who died without any children. So his first son, Robert Bruce of Liddesdale, who I'm descended from, he died in 32 at the Battle of Duplin Moor. And then that's prime making son time. So he had 32 years to, make sons, which I come from. And then David II, he didn't have any kids and died off. But we don't know who the mother is of Robert Bruce of Lidsdale, but through my DNA, my line comes down to, keeps going, and then it goes to this Treese line. And we already know that Treese, through the maternal line, is connected to Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. So what I'm thinking, I go from Robert Bruce of Lidsdale down through my Treese line, and then that's it, the end of it. Before the Clackmannan line, my Treese line goes that way, and then it keeps going post the Clackmannan, and again, that's my end terminal directly from Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. So with this Treese connection, either Robert Bruce of Lidsdale, Robert the Bruce's illegitimate son, married Treese into the Treese family and that's where his sons came, that I'm descended from Bruce, from that Bruce Treese intermarriage, along with, then from there it's all Stuart's of Butte, forever. So I'm thinking that either Robert the Bruce, King of Scots, hooked up with a Treese woman, and that's where Robert Bruce of Lidsdale came from, or Robert Bruce of Lidsdale hooked up with a Treese woman, and that's where his sons came from. So that's way cool that I can show that and prove that. And like I said, everything tells an amazing story of Robert the Bruce and all of the connections that he has. I don't come from the De Burgh family, but I have that through interconnections of that line. And that line started quite some time ago, before even directly going to Scotland, that they were intermarriage with the High Kings, and it's all royalty. I mean, it's all royalty even before Robert the Bruce got to Scotland. I mean, his ancestry through Rollo and all that, those were royal Vikings, raiders that intermarried with the highest elite, and all the Flemish royalty too. Those are the highest, So anyway, everybody, you can go on Wattpad, Real Naked Author. It's now updated with everything that I have from my breakthrough into seeing exactly where Robert the Bruce, King of Scots, comes from through me, from that FGC13109 to his son, Robert Bruce of Lidsdale, and the whole Treese. Either he intermarried, or Robert the Bruce, that's who the chick he hooked up with to have Robert Bruce of Lidsdale. And that's crazy and cool. I can share all this information, and all of Scotland, this is really amazing. First time anybody's ever seen this. And it just goes on. You can read it all. It's so beautiful too. It tells such an amazing story about everybody. And these, just all of these, Y-DNA, all these unbroken lines. The DF41 from the Stuart, royalty, S755, Alan Fitzflood. I mean, that is amazing. You should check it out. Everybody in Scotland, you should check this out, man. It's pretty important to everybody in Scotland, and no idea why we're even waiting on this. This is confirmed, dude. The Alistair, he already wrote it. I have that. Just having the FGC17762 from the Bruce, the royal line, and then having that confirms it. I'm directly descended from Robert the Bruce. And then all of my Y-DNA I posted, cut and pasted, put it anywhere on AI. It'll tell you exactly who I am. And I posted it. They need to update that. That's a cousin line. That's not, from the Bruce, his line himself. That's all a cousin line right there. That's where the Clackmannan start and break off. I'm here, and I keep going up. I'm there. That's what the Treese is. And then I am there. That's Robert Bruce Lidsdale and Robert the Bruce. That's his royal. That's it. And that was probably David II. So that's all my proof, and I'm gonna go have fun, party, and enjoy, now that I found out and proven without a doubt to everybody, I'm the first and only known living descendant of Robert the Bruce, King of Scots, unbroken. My dynasty now, it's the royal Bruce dynasty. I no longer am I going to call it the Stuart Bruce dynasty or the Treese Bruce. Their intermarriages were critical, spots and everything like that, but it's all Robert the Bruce, his royal dynasty, the Bruce royalty, right from the king to me, and all my intermarriages that I share with the Stuarts of Butte, and the ones that I believe either Robert Bruce of Lidsdale married a Treese chick, or Robert the Bruce, that's where he got Robert the Bruce of Lidsdale's son from a Treese, girl. Anyway, check it all out. It's all printed, published. Everybody can see it. There's nothing to hide or anything. My Y-DNA will never change. I have all this Y-DNA. I'm ready to give it to University of Strathclyde. Cheers.